Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Man. Just sitting up here trying further to assess LeBron James's IG post because I think it could mean a lot of different things. First of all, I don't want to rule out something personal. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with any of us. I was looking at a snippet of his post game locker room conversation. Um, where he was just basically expressing, uh, how he felt about the game. And my thought in regards to what I saw was he was down, and so um, maybe it has something to do with what's going on in the court. Maybe not. Um, but judging by what I saw on Saturday, he was definitely frustrated from the jump. And another thing that stood out is I also saw him slap hands with Russell Westbrook on a play as he was coming out of bounds. So for all the speculation of him not being able to get along with that guy or whatever the case, or his mood having something to do with Russell Westbrook, there's a tea leaf that lends itself to the opposite theory. For whatever it's worth. I'm not sitting here saying I'm certain something's going on with Braun in his personal life, but what I am saying is, as frustrated as he appears to be, I remember how focused he was when he was in the bubble. And that was a man who had everything taken from him as it pertained to the creature comforts that he was used to. So when you're somebody who is, of the luxuries and things that LeBron James has earned in his life, and you have all that snatched from you, and you're told to focus. You have your family, you're pulled away from your family, you're pulled away from all the things that you like, you're pulled away from your creature comforts, whatever they may be, and you're told you got to be in this bubble with your team and outlast all the other teams who are in that same situation. And you start hearing about the mental fatigue of all the teams and all the players that they could not bring themselves to be in that bubble. And you realize who was the last man standing, the last team standing. You understand that this would not be the hardest battle on the basketball floor that he's been through in a Laker uniform. As bad as our team looks, this ain't the hardest battle he's been through. He's been through tougher battles, and he's displayed the type of leadership that I'm accusing him of not displaying these last couple games. So what I'm saying is, ain't nothing distract him then, and that was way more of a frustrating basketball situation. So that lends itself also to this being something that could be something going on with him. Something going on. I don't know. But that is notwithstanding the fact that we have the situation going on, and he's not happy about that. That's what I can say without any speculation needed. He's definitely not happy about the team. And because he's not happy about the team, and because there may be something else going on, it would be wise to try to make him happy. Now, when you start talking about not being considered, being taken for granted, or how best to word that, the thing that comes to mind for me is just understanding what I said yesterday about when you're giving your attention to one place, in regards to Jeanie Buss giving a lot of consideration to Russell Westbrook, making sure that he has his spot on the team, making sure that he hasn't been sent home yet, just doing all the things that would ultimately make our team better in regards to him. She's foregoing a lot of those things to make sure that he's, okay, I think. And my whole thing has been, when you do that, you in turn not giving it to the energy. You're not giving that energy to the place it's supposed to be, to the person that actually has that leverage within your business. And I think that might be what LeBron was talking about there too. I think that maybe he's saying that he's not being prioritized properly in this organization, maybe with that angle, or just in general, having desired that we trade those picks and having it not be done yet. And I'll tell you this, and this kind of drives it home. He's already signed his extension. That was him telling us, all right, I'm giving you the leeway. I'm putting my power on the table, and now it's time for you to bring me what it is you're supposed to bring me for that leverage. And we have not been able to capitalize on that leverage. of him signing the extension, which should have been able to give us the leverage necessary to make the trades that he's ready for us to make. And I think that's what it is. LeBron James is not without knowledge in regards to how to put together a basketball team. I don't know if he makes the right decisions, but after all the times that he's been doing this, I think he knows what needs to be done in regards to it, to netting pieces and leverage and things of that nature. I think he has a pretty solid understanding of what those things are. And so I think when I look, my mind is jumping around. I'm thinking about Darvin Ham and his press conference. He was saying, what he wanted from this team is just belief. And he closed his eyes and he dropped his head or something of that nature to just pause before saying the word belief. In other words, with just someone in a higher power, maybe. I don't know what he was doing in his head, but he just want people to believe. And I know he says, I believe, when you word this the right way, I believe he's talking about LeBron James believing in what needs to be done here and staying focused on what needs to be done and believing in it. Just like I was saying in my video, is we have strengths, this team, and we can lean on those strengths and find success. But it's going to take a lot of grinding it out, and it's going to be hard to do. And if you follow me, this is not new, but I think that's what Coach Ham was trying to kind of come across with to Bron. If he sees that, I'm sure he will. That's for you. He wants you to believe, bro, because if you don't believe, the rest of them guys ain't going to believe. As I've been saying, I've been preaching this the whole time. If you don't have that good body language, they're not going to. And that goes for the coach, too. In regards to LeBron James affecting him, he has to try to keep this thing together. I look at a guy like Patrick Beverley, struggling his butt off. But when I was listening to him talk after the game yesterday, he was saying, we're shooting better. He was talking about the progress. We were shooting 20-something% the day before. Now we're shooting 26%. I'd say we're getting better. And he said it with a straight face, and I just understood. It's like, to us, it looks funny that Patrick Beverley is displaying that type of denial. But in that locker room, that's the mentality you have to have. You got to believe in the little incremental moments of getting better. You got to ignore the timeline and the long mountain that it takes to get to where you're trying to go and just see the little steps you got to take to get better. Just like I was saying in regards to the 3-point shots. We can come down gradually. I want to see us come down from 45 attempts to 18 attempts. But I'm not going to kill us if I see gradual decreasing, because I know that that's progress. And so we're seeing that progress, and that's exactly what Patrick Beverley was referring to, albeit in a way that may look a little funny to us, but that's the mentality we want him to have, that I don't care what the reality looks like. I don't care what the circumstances look like. I'm going to be the solution to the problem. I'm bulling through. That's what Darvin Ham is on. I think Patrick Beverley's on that. And they need LeBron James to be the spearhead of that belief. And once he gets on board with that, then everybody else can fall into place. Then guys like Kendrick Nunn can start relaxing and starting to find their confidence again. But as long as they think LeBron James don't believe in them, as long as they see LeBron James rolling his eyes at them, you ain't never going to see them dudes get any better. The team is going to be as bad as they look, and this thing is hopeless before it starts, and we might as well blow it up and let's just start the process of seeing what it looks like when that happens. Nobody wants that. And I think it starts with LeBron James' attitude, as I've been saying since Saturday. It starts with his attitude. And like I said, a lot of people want to blame AD or look at AD. AD started the season as good as I wanted him to, and he's in a lot of pain, and he's playing through it. If that don't make you happy, shut up. Literally. And I'll be the first person to hold AD accountable. I've been doing it all summer. But I'm seeing what I want to see from AD. Fighting through the injury, playing well on the defensive end, blocking shots, and basically giving us the what he has to give us. So what would I be upset at AD for? He's the best player on the floor for us. He's the only one who's been able to really connect on any consistency from game to game to game. This ain't the time to be killing AD about his game. This ain't that time. This is the time to look at LeBron James. This is the time to look at Jeannie Buss and all the people that are at the top of what it is that we do. Russell Westbrook is a guy that we should have had extracted from our situation. We preach it 3-4 times a day. That should have been the moves made today. I hope to see that that's the headline tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. And then continue to get back to what we need to do to get incrementally better. I don't care if we go on a 7-game losing streak. If we're working our attempts of 3-point shots down and continuing to increase our interior scoring, we will get marginally better as we increase our situation. And it ain't about getting good enough to be a champion right now. It's about getting good enough to raise the value of the players on this team so that we can trade them for things that can make us better. And then from there, it's about a race against the clock. Once those pieces get in place, to develop them and put them in a position to build us into a championship caliber team. Does that look possible? No. But it definitely is impossible if nobody starts the process of believing the first incremental steps. And trust you me, even if we don't obtain the championship, what we end up doing is building a building block that we can parlay into the next season. See, that's what's happening to us right now. Nobody has patience for an 0-4 start because we're still jet lagged from the previous damn season. Now, if we give ourselves a season where we have something triumphant, even if we don't reach the mountaintop, I guarantee you we'll feel a lot better about next season. And whether LeBron's thinking about it or not, next season is coming. Whether he may want to retire, but I 100% am certain he's going to think twice about that before even considering it. So it's one of those situations where it's like, look, he's on tab for next year. He's going to want to be a part of this next year. And we need to start building the steps of being a better organization. I think the job for LeBron James ain't just about winning championships. It's about turning this thing around. You know, when we brought you here, this thing was in the trash can. Okay? It was in the toilet. It wasn't a very good place to be. And he came here and he saved us from the hell that Jim Buss left us in. That counts for everything. That don't just count for something. That counts for everything. He got us a championship during the most depressing times of our lives as fans of this sport. So now we have a chance to do right by the man. He's throwing a fit. He's throwing a tantrum. I'm holding him accountable. I'm not happy. He's not happy. All of this is real. But at the end of the day, are we appreciating him properly? Because right now, for everything that's already happened, mistakes made, he might have had some mistakes made, all of that, Westbrook, boom, 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 all the way up until he signs the extension. That's the starting point for which we owe him, in my opinion, as it pertains to what we're talking about. Because once he signed the extension, we're even. For all the mistakes he ever made, he gave us the leverage and the trust of an extra year of his career, so we don't have to ever worry about him darting or having the leverage to leave us without giving us anything to return. If he decides to bounce now, we have his value, so we can at least get something for him. He's given us that. He gave us a path, even if he departs, just by signing that thing. The least we can do is right by the man. So yeah, am I happy about how he's been playing these last 2 games? No. Am I open-minded to something else being going on besides this being basketball? Yeah. All the more reason to do right by the guy. All the more reason to honor the fact that he came through for you when he could have went to any other 29 teams, including Philadelphia, where I'm sure he would have had a better chance of winning more championships. Obviously, if you see what's going on over there right now, I'm sure he would rather play with Joel. So let's just be real. You could be anywhere in the world. And we don't necessarily have that type of power right now as it pertains to the position we're in. We can't get anybody we want. We can't do, you know what I'm saying? We can't. We did everything the wrong way. Luckily enough, we got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So what we can do is either trade those guys to save ourselves from what it is that's coming, which is going to be a lot worse than what we're going through right now, or we can do what we said we were going to do. Make a good trade for LeBron James, not waiting for the best trade, because that's not the scale we're going by anymore. The scale completely changed on us once our value, the value of our players started fluctuating downward. Now we can't wait for the trade that ultimately manifests, because when we get there, our pieces are worth half of what we thought they would be at that time. That's the new equation and understanding. You can't keep on that path no more, Rob. That didn't pan out, bro. I hate to tell you that, and believe me, it's a hard pill for me to swallow too, but from where I'm sitting, unless you're looking at something that ain't there for me to see, that path to us waiting for another 3 weeks so that we can finally get that Kyrie piece, I'm afraid we're going to be too bad by then, and they're going to have that price too hiked up by then on that player, and we're just not going to be good enough to get back what we need. It seems like we can do a lot better if we make a quicker trade for the pieces that I said we should make with either Utah, for those shooters, if they would be so kind as to give us a crazy high-value piece like Markkanen, which actually they probably should not do. But a piece that gives us shooters, or something in Charlotte, maybe something, you know what I mean? But we got to do something that finds that sweet balance of maneuverable flexibility, because you can't have everything, man. You can't have the world of flexibility next year if you're going to save your season right now. So you got to find some sweet medium to say, all right, so maybe I don't have supreme flexibility, but I can at least shift some pieces around and be okay next year. Because if you're not structuring it out so that you can be good enough for both of these seasons, I'm afraid it will be the end of your tenure as the GM of the Lakers. Because she gave you the extension, which I know if this thing goes down the ball of flames, she's going to be so embarrassed. That's the word that comes to mind. Embarrassed, bro. And she will have to, pick up the pieces. And I don't know how that goes. But I'd imagine that round table is going to be pointing at Rob Pelinka. I can tell you that. Those group of advisors ain't going to blame themselves. I tell you that. So I just think Rob Pelinka, while I say his next move needs to be his best move, he needs to make sure he's still looking at the same pace of the clock. He needs to make sure that the rhythm of what he's looking at is still going at the same pace. Because if things sped up on him, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you got to be able to be quick with it. I recognize a situation where it's like, uh-oh, that door closed on us. What's the next best thing? Okay, those 3 pieces look all right. Let's bring those in if we can do it. All right, that'll save our season. And then if we have to recalibrate and change and trade those pieces in about 6 months, at least we'll know that that's possible. You know what I mean? At least we know we can get those pieces and raise their value or maintain their value as opposed to the pieces that we got right now, which are decreasing in value. So these are things you got to be thinking about when you're running your organization, man. These are $1 billion conversations. Because at the end of the day, this is the type of stuff that's going to make or break Jeannie's business as it pertains to the short term of what we got going on. It's basketball first, but at the end of the day, it's money. So, this is not worth it. I've been saying it for weeks now. This is not worth the luxury tax. And we're a Laker family. As crazy as this sounds to those who are outside of this thing, I actually think about what's best for Jeannie, just like I would hope she thinks about what's best for us. And I don't want her paying luxury tax on our behalf to watch a team that we don't even want to see and the players don't even believe in. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want her to do that with her daddy's company. Nah, let's reset this thing and do it right. Especially when we got people here to know how to do it. You got minds like mine in our corner. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we don't have to do things the wrong way. Listen to BDL 44. We're going to guide us in the right direction, and we're going to be a good team for a long time. We don't have to do things the wrong way. So that's how I'm looking at it. It's like, look, let's just be calm. I understand we're in panic mode. We do need to make a quick deal. That's okay. We can recalibrate our whole structure to understand that that's the thing to do. Talk to Utah. Do not talk to the Pacers about Miles Turner, because you know that puts you in a hole when it's time to renegotiate with Miles Turner. That's what it is. We know we can't put ourselves in complete holes. Balance is the thing. You want to have the pieces that can get you good enough to be, as good as you want to be this year and have that step up for next season. And you don't want anything that's going to otherwise make you have headaches next year as to where your team sucks so bad LeBron won't leave anyway. You know what I mean? You're so log jammed, and some of the moves may not pan out, and now you can't undo them. You don't want to find yourself in that space. So that's what it is, man. And for goodness sake, can we have some temperature on what happens when you leave certain personalities in certain situations? We've been through this too long to keep making these same type of mistakes. Now, we know Russell Westbrook's piece doesn't fit. We know this situation is bad for the man. Let's get that good news coming, that we can send him into a better situation. whether it be a trade or send him home. I know Trevor Lane said we can't send him home because at this point it doesn't give us enough talent on the floor. I disagree. Because at the end of the day, with him down there, you're not really doing a whole lot of positive. What we have is what we have, whether he's there or not. Only he's making it worse when he is there. So how's that not a good thing he's gone? I understand there are certain things to his game that he brings to the table, particularly at the rebounding and the pace that he provides. You know, we break that down all the time. But at this point, it's like I can't trust his decision making to even be competitive on our side. For all I know, he's going for the other team, the way he's been playing. So it's like now when we start having those type of conversations, it's like, nah, we don't stand to benefit from having that player just because he has certain strengths. We don't stand to benefit from having that player just because we have certain pieces of this. Absolutely not. No, that's not how that works. You got to take the cancer away from the team so the team could have good health. Like literally, it is that simple. The mental health of the team is bad, and they have to remove the cancer. So that's all there is to it, man. We are a broken record, but I think it's necessary that Laker Nation be a broken record right now because we don't want to have another season like we had last year with these slow organizational decisions. It can't happen. Now, I'm not up for going to Staples Center or Crypto and, causing a ruckus or making it so that they gotta come down there and put barricades up to keep us away from the place. That's not really the approach I'm coming with. But I will flood YouTube with as much content as possible to put as much pressure on them from my angle as possible to not make bad decisions, quick decisions, but good decisions that happen to be timely in a manner that fits the urgency of what we're dealing with. Smart, but urgent, very at this point. I understand it's 82 game season. I get that. But if we were counting from 1 to 82, with 82 being it, and we're fine, then we could say, okay, well, we got 82 more times to get this right. We don't have 82 more times to get this right. Don't let the 82 fool you. You got to start getting this thing in order right now. Right now. Because you are going up against those who have their own 82 game season, and they're going to be winning games. So with us dropping games and our timeline being as it is, yeah, we cannot toy around if we're serious about it. So that's why that urgency, man. I understand if it's anything else and you're doing it 82 times, the fourth time is not when you start panicking. So I do want context to be understood. I don't want people to think that in life. But as it pertains to this NBA basketball thing, when you're trying to win a championship that particular year, heck yeah. No, 4 is when you start panicking. Yes, number 4. So this is where we at, man. 0-4, we suck. But we're not going to stay that way if we start doing things the right way. So that's what we're hoping we'll see. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching. Oh, wait. Got a minute. We'll be at the Kobe minute, so we'll keep that tradition going. What I do want to say, though, just looking back at some of the things that we've already talked about, Anthony Davis is playing very well, but his back is starting to act up. I think it would be wise to sit him against the Minnesota Timberwolves, even though we don't have enough size to beat them. Probably ain't going to beat him anyway. If he's hurting, rest him. Got to save him from himself. He's on a mission right now to prove to us that he is not soft. That mission can make it so that he ends up getting hurt in the season, and that mission will throw everything off. So we need to save him from himself. I'm very serious about that. I'm watching AD, and I know what he's doing. He going to wear himself down. He's on a mission to just... He ain't going to be the soft guy, but he will be the guy that's hurt because of it. So we got to just keep an eye on him. And, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by guys incrementally getting better. We just need our star on board with that. And I think everything else will fall in place. I like what I'm hearing from Darvin. We just need more calm, common sense decisions, man. I know it's chaotic, but the simple things in basketball ultimately will get us these victories. It's the Kobe Minute, y'all. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching.